Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stamping Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. I had a few issues with Facebook, which sometimes kind of happens. Tonight, I'm going to be showing you a really, really simple card that looks amazing. And everybody's going to say, how did you make that? Now, I've got the measurements. All you need is basic card, a standard card base. I'll throw you down to the desk. This makes it a little easier. Rightio. This is the card we're going to be making. Looks a little flash. Now, I could have dressed it up more, but I kept it really simple so that you could follow along. But this is a card that you can use whatever's in your stash. And that's what I really, really like, using what's actually in your stash. Now, I've used for this card, let's go and find my designer series paper. Don't tell me oh no, I didn't put it away. I've got 3 projects out on the table at the moment. So I use Lovely Blossoms designer series paper, and you've seen me use this so often. It's got that beautiful Secret Sea color in it. It's got the old olive. I have hardly any of this paper left, and I bought 2 packs of it. So that tells you how popular it has been. So this is how the card looks, and we open it up, and it's just plain on the inside. But isn't this flash? And when you know how to make it, it is so, so simple. Rightio. So the measurements that, because you can go and grab them, especially if you're sitting at your at your craft desk, is you just need a card base that is 5.5 by 8.25 inches. So I'm using Lost Lagoon, and I'll show you the paper that I'm going to be using. And I think I have to cut this down. I don't think this is the right size, but anyway. Then I need a piece, just designer series paper. So these are my 2 sides that I'm using. So if you look at this, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. On this one, I used a 3rd little dress up, but I don't think I'll be doing that this time. So my designer series paper is 5.5 by 3 3/4. So this is one side, and this is the other side. And then I've just got the insert, which is this piece here. So you can see it's really a minimalist card. It's 5.25 by 3 7/8, and obviously I've used basic white. Now I'll show you the paper that I'm using tonight. Oh, sorry. I'm using the product of the month. And I know I don't think I've shown this yet, but it has 3 sheets of each pattern, which I think it makes it really useful, especially if you're making bulk cards. So I'm using this piece. Isn't it gorgeous? I love these colours. I'll show you this one. So this, I tried to avoid having anything with lines, only that I was a little worried how it was going to match. And so that's why I used this one. So it's got 4 different patterns in it, I'm pretty sure, and 3 sheets of each. And it is called, remember that this you can get if you place a $125 order, excluding any of your coupons or rewards. You can order some Painted Illusions, which is what it's called, 12 by 12 paper. Now, it actually pops up and tells you can do it, but it only costs $9. It's a pretty good bargain. So we don't want to miss those bargains. We want to make the most of what we've got. Rightio. So now I'm going to do 2 cards. The first one, you can see how it works, and you'll see how easy it is. And you can actually go and get your basically 3 pieces of cardstock organised. And I'm going to make another one so I can step it through twice with you. Not because it's difficult. This is such a quick and easy card. Now, you know me, I always say that I have no spatial capacity. So you know that this is going to be a challenge for me. So it's 5.5 inches by 8.25. Just looked a little longer than that. So I thought I should check it. So I'm sure you've got this measurement. And just remember that 2 3/4 as a top mark. So I'm going to grab my stamping trimmer and score at 4 1/8, which is half of the 8.25 across here. So 4 1/8. And then we're just going to fold. Burnish that on the score line. And you're going to be blown away by how easy this is. Now, hi Lynette, hi Glenda. Good to see you. Rightio. So now at the top on the score line, I'm going to mark that 2 3/4, which is half of 5.5 inches. So where's my ruler? You can always guarantee when you want your ruler, it's not going to be here. Well, let's use the big ruler. So 2 3/4. Where's a pencil? I've definitely got a pencil here. It's such an easy card. No. So I'm just marking there. Now I'll bring the card back so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'll be cutting, and I like to draw this with a light pencil mark, to be honest. Just draw from there down to that corner. I'm a little off, but we'll make it better. And then do the same in the other direction. So from the 2 3/4 that I marked up here down to this corner here. Rightio. Now, I could use my trimmer, but I have to say I found it a lot easier using just a pair of large sharp scissors. Don't have sharp scissors? I am sure you can use our stamping, our little snips. You can see how easy this is. I'm just cutting along that line, doing the same on this side. You're going to be blown away by this. This is a 10-minute card, maybe a 15-minute card, if I go slow. Okay, so that's how it now looks. How easy was that? Now, the secret is, I've just got to make sure which is the right way. That then sits in there. So how easy is that? Right? So I'm keep this piece. I don't throw it away. Now, this piece here is my 5.5 by 3.25. And it's going to go here. Now, on this one, I'm going to be marking 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches here. Whoops. I could just use my grid paper, but so I'm just making a little grid path there. Now remember, this is 5 inches long, so I've gone for the halfway mark, and I'm going to cut from this corner to there, and from this corner to there. So this one's easier to do with your trimmer. So let's just get rid of a little bit of this rubbish. So to do this is I'm putting that point in the cutting track and then the mark that I left. So you sometimes got to fiddle because you shift one bit, you shift this piece and then this piece shifts. Now, what I want to make sure is that they haven't shifted, and I don't want to be cutting down here because I'll hit that point and it might rip, may not look real good. So we keep that little piece there and turn around here and do exactly the same. Now, so these are 2 points, so I want to start in the middle here. So I get that nice. So I got 2 of these and 1 of that. We're going to use all of that. Wait a minute, I've got Hi, Joanne. How are you? Right. So we're going to bring this card back. This is how easy it is. So that piece is going to go there. This piece is going to go there. Now, the secret is, it's the old secret, is you need to line them up and get your borders correct. If you've got any pencil marks here that you can see, just rub them out. That's easy. Just have a little bit there. Okay, so let's glue this on. Oh, oops. I wanted this like that, didn't I? So I nearly made a mistake. So this is the piece, the pattern I want. Go down to your points. Put a little bit much glue. It's a bit warm here today. Okay. Get it nice and those borders level. Yep. Now, so when you're picking cardstock for this card, you do want the two sides, so the A and the B side of the sheet you select to match. Right. So mine's got that little bit of Lost Lagoon down the bottom. I thought it'd have a little more, but that's okay. I'll get that up just a bit. So you can see that works really well. Then this piece sits under there, right? Well, to be honest, turn it around and sits there. Now I want to show you something. You can see it only goes one way. So it's the biggest way that you can get it to go. So which is this way. And you want it nice and centered. So it nearly goes edge to edge. It's just a slightly less. Now, what I did was turn this over, but I want this piece to have the designer series paper on it. So again, I'm just going to line it up nice and easy. This time I'm using the other side. That's what I said. This is such an easy card. Yes. So this is going to sit under here. You see how cute that is already, can't you? And how easy was that? So what I do is I line this up on the bottom, and then I grab that pencil. Where's my pencil? I have 100 pencils, you know that. And I can't find any. Here's one. I know. So I've got it right up to the score line there, but not over it, because if it goes over, it won't fold. Put this down here. I'm just going to gently put a little pencil line down there. Close this side. Put a little pencil line down there. And the reason for that is that's the bit I put the glue on. That was so light that I can't even see this piece. So just a little hard. So I now know this is the area I can put my glue on. But I can put it on the cardstock. I don't just need it on the designer series paper. So you've got a little triangle that you're putting the adhesive on. I'm using the multi-purpose glue, which for those that watch me regularly, you've seen it's my favourite glue. Now I just have to close that down, close that down. Now I always get bone folder just to make sure that glue has stuck. Now I also forgot, oh, there's all my pencils there. Forgot to welcome all my new followers from the last week. So it's been fabulous having lots of people sign up. Now, where's my, here we go. Inside is just going to go in here. Now, can you believe how easy this was? You were thinking it was going to be tough. Oh, I'm going to be strong. I'm going to stick it in before I glue, before I stamp. You know, I normally stamp first. But I'm going to have faith that I've got this right. And again, I'm just going to line it up with the borders all the way around. So how easy was that? Now, but we still got, I'm going to put another circle on this. And I brought in not a new stamp set, it's actually a retiring stamp set. Well, it will retire in a few months. It's from the annual catalogue. It's called Paper Tags. And it has two stamps that I absolutely love. This one is It's a Wonderful Day to Celebrate You. And it just fits this circle, stitch circle that comes from Stylish Shapes, which, as you know, I probably use nearly every week. Now, I'm going to try some Pretty Peacock. I'm thinking that that's going to match, but let's try it on my grid paper first. You can see I'm just tapping it here. So let's just put it on my grid paper first. Oh, I think that will work perfectly. So it's one shade darker than the Lost Lagoon. I know. So let's see, because as you know, I can't line up anything straight. I've got to have a bit of a guess. I think that's going to be okay. I don't look at that. It's wonderful to celebrate. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you. I know. So there's a lot I can do. I can leave it like that. I can pop it up. I'm going to pop this one up because this is actually my sentiment. Just thinking, should I use some? I'll put a bit of ribbon or something under it. I mean, I've kept these really simple in so that I can whip them up and you can see how gorgeous they actually turn out. Now, I could add little like little stamps there. There's lots I could do. But as I said, I'm going to keep this fairly simple. But I'm thinking I might add a little bit of a bow. Got this gorgeous, got lots of white. Let's just see if I should add a tied bow here, which will dress it up. Now I could add a few little embellishments as well. So there's lots of options. You can just go to your stash. How easy does this ribbon tie? It's so nice. Oops, I need that a little further over. It's better. So I can, the old story, you've got to keep cutting till you get it right. Let's stick this down. And then I'm just going to zipper sentiment on the inside. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you. How nice is that? Right, we'll put a little bow here, and again, you know what happens, you keep trimming it and then it's too short. And we'll just put that there. And I've been doing something a little different lately to make my bows stay on. It's just using some double-sided tape. And you can't see it because once you peel this off, burnish it, pokey tool to lift this up. you can't see it, but it just holds a little bit more of the bow than a glue dot does. So there we go. Got a nice little bow. Down a bit. I told you I'd have to trim this a bit more. There we go. Now, on the inside, I'm going to use, have I pulled it off yet? It's my favourite stamp. Oh, it's not that one. It's this one. I've got a block here somewhere. Got a huge block for a little stamp. Open it up. So this one is this one. Consider this a paper hug. So it's a wonderful day to celebrate you. Consider this a paper hug. Again, I'll use the Pretty Peacock. I'm putting it right up the top so you can't see it. It's not going to peek through. Now I could add some more little stamps if I wanted to. I'm going to keep it fairly simple. Gives me a bit more room. So there's number 2. So are you ready? Have you got your cardstock and your card base? And I'm going to cut out from the start. So this time I'm just trying to try and clean up a little bit here. Put a few things away. So have you got your designer series paper? As I said, it's just such a small piece of designer series paper. This time I'm going to be using another one of my favorites. Oops, sorry. And it's called Floral Charm. I mean, it's so gorgeous. Now, it's got a directional pattern. It's something to be very aware of with this. So this is my favorite one. I enjoy use this one as well. So that and that goes together quite nicely. I might use this one. Yeah, so they're just there's so many options. As I said, it's not one of those that you have to agonize over what designer series paper you're going to use. It's one of those that just works with everything. Now, just put this away. I'm going to grab some Berry Vanilla on this one. So it's not a coloured cardstock, it's just a plain one, because both of my patterns are fairly busy. So we're cutting down 5.5 inches, so to the top of my trimmer. Hopefully you can see that. 5.5 inches. I'm going to be scoring at 4 1/8. So make sure you trim your cutting blades out of the way, score it. Now, because this is basic, very vanilla, I won't even have to put an insert on the inside of it. All right. So let's see how this works. So I need a piece that is, so this is my card base, 5.5 by 8 1/4. I'm going to, I'll do this first. 2 3/4 up the top, I'm going to mark. Grab my ruler again. 2 3/4. And this is just one of those cards you have in your kit. 2 3/4 is just there. And remember, I drew down because it made it easier for me. But it's up to you. It's one of those things, everybody has a different way of doing stuff. Anyone following along? I'm missing some comments. So again, I'm going to use my scissors because it's easier for me. Actually, again, I've just cut this a little. I need to drop that down. My pencil was a bit thick. And we'll put it down like that. And my scissors, I'm going to cut from the corner up to that 2 3/4 mark. As I said, you can use your trimmer if you want. For me, this one works a little easier. Keep this piece. And then we've got that lovely diagonal pattern. Now, this runs this way and so does the back pattern. So I want to be able to cut it 5 by 3, 5 inches across and 3/4 of an inch down. So let's cut. Maybe this is 5 inches. Is that 5 inches? It is easy. And so it is 3 3/4. And let's just do 3 3/4 this way. And then you can see how few supplies, 3 3/4 and 5 inches this way. So I can decide how I want to cut that. Righto. So this is my piece. So you can see it runs up that way and this runs up that way. So hopefully this is going to work. We'll see. If not, it may be a hanging down vine. Now, I then make, this is 5 inches, so I make a mark halfway across. Let's work on the front. Halfway across at 2.5 inches. This one's at the bottom of your pattern. So first one at the top, second one at the bottom. And this time it's really simple, I think, to use your trimmer. Just going to find that spot. I think that's it there. I better mark that again. Got a few other black marks there. It's easier. Hi, Myrtle. Hi, Sharon. So where's that piece? So this time I'm just going from the 2.5 inch mark that I made there up to this corner. So I'm lining up the corner in the cutting track and also that little mark. Now, always remember, if you move one, the other one seems to always move. Right. And then same on this side. And this time I've got 2 points. So remember I said I will never put a cutting blade or one of the cutting blades into that point or that point. Otherwise, it sometimes buckles it a bit. Right out. So here we go. So this is going to sit there. This is a little more, can I say, old-fashioned, vintagey sort. Oh, look, I still really like it. So important to get your borders correct. And I do have got a rubber on my desk somewhere hiding. I'll find it in a second. And I do need a rubber just to rub out those marks a little bit. Lucky I have more than one rubber. So, how pretty is that paper? Now, so we have this piece here. So that's the piece because it just is slightly smaller than the width of the card, only slightly. And I'm going to then stick this on. For some unknown reason, this is looking a little bigger. Anyway, well, I might just trim. You can always trim things down a little bit if you don't think it's actually working as it should. Just going to take a little bit off that top part. I know, so we'll put that like that. Then this piece should sit on here. That's better. I know. Let's stick that on. As I said, you're going to see 2 cards in a very short period of time. Oop. So then again, this is going to sit here. I'm going to grab my pencil to make it nice and easy. Just draw. Really only have to do it on the cardstock. And I'm going to add some glue just where I drew that little triangle, so on that outside triangle. So line it up again, make sure it hasn't shifted, that little V that you drew is right there. The same on this side, doing what I always do. I know. Now, got those couple of little lines there. I'll rub it out easy. It's gone anyway. Hi-de-o. So this time, what should I put in? I might go back. I want another circle. I die cut. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? It's I need very vanilla. Let's see what we got on the very vanilla stage. Oh, yeah. Now, I could put, I could have added a stamped image in a circle. There's so many things, but I'm just going to keep it simple. You know how to decorate, a card. So I'm grabbing the stylish shapes. I'm going to, because I've got a dark background, I'm just going to keep it to something fairly small. This one. Grab my little mini because still my wrist does not like doing too much. Too much stuff on my desk here. You can see this. I'll just put that out of the way. So now I'm using plate number 3. I'm finding it works a little better, but everybody's cut and emboss machines are a little different. You've used them all, they might have softened up a little bit. Oops, this is my cutting plate, so I want that at the bottom. Now, I don't know, I'll show you when I pulled out the cut and emboss machine. This is only the mini. Now I could stamp here first, but I'm just going with I'm going to stamp it correctly. It's not always a good idea. Now, so there's my circle, nicely stitched. Now, see how straight my plates are? And the reason for that is I actually score it when they start getting crooked. I put the plate, whatever plate it is, but this time it's plate number 3, the 2 acrylic plates so that they're the widest they can possibly be, so the bend's going in opposite directions. And then I just put this in and leave it for a few days and they will straighten out. So that's a tip for your big one. It's a tip for whatever cutting machine you've got, that will work. Yeah, so bring this back. So I've got this here. Now I liked it with a circle because you've got these really straight, strong lines. Adding a circle made it nice. Now I'm just looking for, what is this? This is consider this a paper hug. I'm going to put this on the front just for ease. And I'm going to be using the Pretty Peacock ink pad, which is hiding somewhere on my desk. Ah, maybe I have to use black because I can't find, as soon as I turn my video off, it will reappear like magic. I'm just, oh no, here it is, over here. So consider this paper hug. I'm putting it just in the center. How nice is that stamp? And I love Pretty Peacock. It's one of my favorite colors. So I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. I've got some mini dimensionals here, they'll do. Yeah, I could have stamped something on the background as well, but let's keep it simple. I'll add some little embellishments. Let's see what we got. We go there. What's some olive? I don't know. They're not going to match. Oh, but they're not going to match either. What have we got? I've got lots of, like you, I have lots of, I like this beige. So let's try it. Probably a crumb cake, actually. Kind of matches here pretty well. So there's not a lot of little ones, but let's throw some little ones around. There. Oops. Where will we put this up? Over here. I don't. Then on the inside, this is kind of those neutral colours. So on the inside, I think this should be a birthday one. So I've got a birthday stamp here somewhere. Surely I do. Anyway, have I got a birthday here? Let's see if this one's back in its case. Happy birthday. It's only a little one. I'd probably normally use a bigger one. It's just the idea so you can understand how this card comes together. So how easy was this card? Let's get it straight. Who's going to make it? Under your card. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, it's a little late. So we're just going to stamp this. Happy birthday up the top here. Right, and then going to use this little leaf stamp, just like I did before. I'm going to make it in Lost Lagoon. Oh, do I want to make it Lost Lagoon? No, I don't. I want to make it in Pretty Peacock. Honey, who would make this card? Have I made it look easy? That's the secret of this card, because it looks complex until you actually go to make it. And once you know how to make it, it is so simple. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Let's try to avoid a little halo. I left some of the ink pad back. So it's a clear stamp. So let's see if I've got the magic touch to line this up again. I think I do. I do. So it is possible to reline them up, especially with our clear stamps. So I've got a lot of stuff out here. So let's show you the 3 cards, and you can see how quick and easy they were. So this is the original. This is the second one, and this is the third one. This is looking a little plain now. I see this bow here. So I think I'm going to have to a little nice little twine here. I think will look nice. So let's use some twine. Normally I leave it on the roll, so let's leave it on the roll. So I only cut it after I tie the bow. It saves a little bit of, so you're not wasting as much. Now, this time I will have to use that looks better. This time I will have to use some glue dot, a mini glue dot, of which I have lots here. I've got a half-used one here. I've got to just about finish this one. One of those escaped. I know now. This is a big, big week. We've only got what date is it? The 25th. We've only got 3 days left for you to use your bonus coupons. So don't forget to do that. So if you're in Australia, that's $9 off your order. You also only have 3 more days to sign up for a starter kit. And get the stamping positioner, which I showcased last week, as a bonus. So you get $235 for only, plus the bonus stamp positioner, which is valued, I think, at $86, $84, something like that. How? Ideo. So which one do you like? Myrtle's going to give them a go. Thank you, Sharon. So which one's your favourite? 1, 2, or 3? As you can see, any paper, well, just about any paper will work. Just got to be a little careful with if it's a really strong directional one. But this one, well, it had a bit of a direction, but it still worked out really well. So leave a comment which one you actually like. And if you're watching on replay, let me know which one you like as well, because that actually helps me with my classes, etc. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you if you're going to be watching us on replay in the future. Really appreciate it. And thanks while you're there. Follow me on Facebook or subscribe to me, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, because it all helps. It helps those algorithms, and they, each of those platforms will share my cards a little further, which is really great for me. So thank you. All but two. You didn't like this one. Isn't that interesting? Thanks, Myrtle. Yeah, that's it for me today. Now, next week I will be back again and I will be making an Easter card. I know I promised an Easter card this week, but I was running a little behind with a fair bit on. And I went, no, let's do something that's simple that we can do when we're really, really busy. So thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Always appreciate your support. And don't forget to leave a comment. Oh, wait a minute. I'll show you what's happened here. Wait a minute. Rightio. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Bye for now.